Hi, welcome back to Wrestling Fun with Father and Son. I'm Father Matt, and this is Son.
Hi.
And this is week that's WWE. This is Raw. Like I say, this is Raw, 24th of the 6th, 2019. Started off with Seth Rollins coming out to initially cut a promo about stomping ground, but he was quickly interrupted by Becky Lynch, who came out, and they both did a sort of a promo about stomping ground and how about all the events that happened with that pay-per-view. That then proceeded for Baron Corbin's music to hit, but there was no Baron Corbin. Instead, Lacey Evans came out to attack Becky Lynch. Seth Rollins did momentarily pull her off her, but she sort of pushed him away and then went for it again. And then Baron Corbin came in to attack Seth Rollins. Then Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch both got the upper hand of Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin. They were on the ringside, and then they announced there's going to be a mixed tag team championship match at Extreme Rules, which is a little bit predictable, to be honest. But then the stipulation is the winner takes all, so both belts will be on the line, Becky's and Seth's, and if they win, then Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans could take both them titles. I kind of thought this was going to happen, to be honest, when they sort of hinted at this at Stomping Ground, but that is what they're now going forward. So they're still in that feud going forward, which is a bit frustrating, but oh well, what can you do? Next, it was the New Day and the Usos versus Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan and the Revival, wasn't it? In an elimination tag match. Basically, during this match, Daniel Bryan went for the sort of dive through the ropes, I think. He inadvertently hit one of the Revival. The Revival then cost him his sort of spot in that elimination match, and he got eliminated.
I think he got Dawson.
Dawson, yep, Scott Dawson, wasn't it? I think, yep, Scott Dawson on the outside. Scott Dawson then cost Daniel Bryan the spot in that match. They eliminated the New Day. They quickly eliminated the New Day, and then there was sort of the Revival versus the Usos, and the Usos ended up getting the upper hand over the Revival. Obviously, them two teams are in a bit of a rivalry. I think they're going to have probably a match at Extreme Rules. I can see that going forward. Next, it was the Miz TV. I will quickly say that during the show, I don't know if people spotted this, but I had to see on Facebook. This is what brought my attention to it, and I had to re-watch it. But there was a bit of a backstage sort of Miz walking to the ring, and in the background was Abby the Witch. Yes, she was in the background. She appeared, and then later on, Kofi Kingston in the back. There was Mercy the Buzzard. So still no Firefly's Funhouse during this Raw, but they're still sort of leaving them threads in the show. I don't know if there was any more. I'm not too sure. I haven't seen any more reports of any more of the puppets in the show. If anyone knows, then please drop a comment. So like I say, Miz came out. He introduced R-Truth and Carmella. R-Truth and Carmella came out. Obviously, the 24/7 championship, where the rules were relaxed, so they could be a little bit free with the interview. Obviously, R-Truth at Drake Maverick's wedding, he rolled him up, didn't he, and won it back. This proceeded then for Drake Maverick to come out, and this has got to be probably the highlight of WWE at the minute. That 24/7 belt, although it looks really rubbish, it's actually one of the best things on the show at the minute, and it's quite funny. It was very funny, this exchange with R-Truth and Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick said that he wanted the love of his life back. Everyone thought it was his wife, but he was talking about the belt. So they had an impromptu match between R-Truth and Drake Maverick, which was a very quick match, and R-Truth got the roll-up pin on Drake Maverick. Then proceeded for all the sort of jobbers to come down. So yeah, and then R-Truth escaped into the crowd, and then you'll see later on he appeared again. Next, it was Shane and Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns in a handicap. It was not a tag handicap. They were both in the ring at the same time. They actually destroyed Roman Reigns in this match. There was the steel steps, a couple of claymores, a spear from Shane McMahon, and then as it looked like he was going to basically get absolutely annihilated as it was by them two, the lights went out, and what happened, Kai?
The Undertaker came.
The Undertaker, yes, he helped Roman Reigns with a choke slam and a big boot. So they also announced later on that it would be Shane and Drew versus Roman Reigns and The Undertaker at Extreme Rules in another tag match. So it's nice to see The Undertaker back. They might flesh out that storyline with why The Undertaker's back, but we'll have to see, won't we, what's going to happen there. Next, it was the rubbish section of Raw, to be honest. It was a tug of war between Strowman and Lashley. Strowman won, and then they got into a brawl. Basically it. Next, we had a little backstage section with AJ Styles. AJ Styles was in an interview, and then No Way Jose sort of train, a conga line appeared with the club, Anderson and Gallows. And AJ Styles is sort of riding the wave of you've got to be serious to them two, and you're not acting serious. And you've got a match against the Viking Raiders next, and you've got to win that match. Unlike last week when they lost to the Usos, was what he was basically saying. And we had that match, Viking Raiders versus Gallows and Anderson. What happened in that? Who won that one?
Viking Raiders.
The Viking Raiders actually did win that match. So yeah, I don't know if they're going to have AJ Styles with them now or going forward, but we'll have to see. Next, there was another backstage section with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross talking about stomping ground and that, only for Alexa Bliss to sort of leave and for Natalya and Naomi to come in and say don't trust Alexa Bliss, for then Alexa Bliss to come in and accuse Nikki Cross of sort of talking behind her back. Next bit was Mojo Rawley and Heath Slater were in the ring ready to have a match. That match didn't happen because R-Truth appeared again, didn't he, with the belt, being chased by the mid-carders. Heath Slater got a quick win, so he became the 24/7 champion, and then R-Truth won it back, become an 8-time champion. And then Cedric Alexander got a roll-up on R-Truth, and then R-Truth quickly got it back again for a 9-time win, and he escaped again through the crowd with Carmella. A little bit hard to follow that, wasn't it? There was so many championship changes there, but yeah, as we're standing, R-Truth is still the champion. Next, Kofi Kingston was out, doing a bit of a promo for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to come out and do an impromptu Sami and Kevin show, where they accused Kofi Kingston of always using his friends to win. That then prompted Kofi Kingston versus Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens was outside. Kofi Kingston got a quick sort of win onto Zayn, and then Kevin Owens did a bit of a promo and said, "Now face me." So Kofi Kingston did, and then it was a count out. He sort of done the SOS outside to Kevin Owens, and then he got a count out, and then he sort of went into the ring. He took both Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens out, didn't he, by jumping out to the ring. Sort of backed up to the ramp with his championship and got attacked by... Who did he get attacked by?
Dolph Ziggler?
No, it was Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe attacked him, and then he sort of threw him into... He sort of picked him up by his legs and threw him into the sort of staging area. He backed off as all the referees come out to make sure Kofi was all right, and then he came out again. Samoa Joe came out again and applied the cleaner clutch, and that's how they ended that. So obviously he's now going to be injected into the WWE title picture by the looks of that. Next it was Naomi and Alexa Bliss with Nikki Cross. Obviously they had that little bit in the backs. Basically at the end, towards the end of that match, Naomi did a baseball slide to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, but Alexa Bliss got out of the way and she hit Nikki Cross. Bliss then done a DDT and got the win that way. Bliss then attacked Naomi, asking Nikki Cross to come into the ring and sort of help her, but she only just really pushed her. That sent down Natalya, who sort of come in and sort of had a tag team match. So Natalya and Naomi versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, but it seems like Nikki Cross did all the work. Nikki Cross sort of got the finisher, and then Alexa Bliss, who'd done a blind tag at that point, come in and got the pin, and she took the glory away. Then we had the main event, which was AJ Styles versus Ricochet in a non-title match. They sort of got the match started, but then the club, Gallows and Anderson, came out for AJ Styles to slide out the ring, get a microphone and say, "I don't want you at ringside, I want this match on my own." Then they sort of went to the back. AJ Styles got back in the ring. They had a match. It was a really good match. I think they're going to have some more matches down the line here, possibly for the title. But they ended up getting a phenomenal forearm from AJ Styles, who got the win. And then at the end, there was some nice sportsmanship because he sort of raised up Ricochet's arm, and that's how they finished Raw this week. So yeah, it was an okay Raw. It's going in the right direction. It needs to get a bit better, to be honest. But it was a good Raw, wasn't it, Kai? And it was good to see the Undertaker return. You liked that one, didn't you? Also, like I say, there's a few threads from Bray Wyatt in the show, especially when the puppets popping up. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll have to keep an eye out to see if there's more puppets next week, or he might debut. So yeah, if you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow, which will be the week of WWE SmackDown, won't it? So I'll say goodbye, and say goodbye, Kai.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.